everyone, welcome back to my channel. As always, my name is Brittany. This is the Brittany Reacts Show, and on this show we go over all things entertainment news. I go over movie news. I've been updating you guys on what's been happening with the strikes, and I've been updating you guys with what's been going on with AI and how AI is taking over the Hollywood entertainment industry. So we have not a lot to talk about, but what we do have to talk about is very, very interesting. We're talking about the future of the entire Hollywood entertainment industry right here. Like, basically the main stuff, all these strikes are over. Because Disney, again, I know I keep saying it, but Disney be wildin'. A lot of stuff is happening. How are you guys, though? Hi, Natanya. Hi, Armia. Hi, Slackjaw. Hi, Rusty. Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Natanya Mullings. Hi, Jojo Rod. Hi, Little Joe Animations. Hi, Prince. Hi, David. Hi, CD Woods. Hi, Baby. Hi, Rusty. Hi, Free Rocket Man. Hi, Kasha. Hi, Ahmed. Hi, Shavivi. Hi, CD Woods. Hi, everyone who's here. Hi, everyone who comes to these live streams every day. Thank you. I do want to say I have noticed that about 30% of you actually aren't subscribed. So if you guys would like to subscribe, I'm trying to get to 80,000 subscribers soon, so if you will join me on my path to 80,000 subscribers, I would really like it if you would subscribe now. Of course, we do have a lot to talk about today. One of the things we are talking about is that Apple could be acquiring Disney. Okay, I know there's already been a lot of rumors about it, but this one was in the Hollywood Reporter, so now it feels more real, and that's kind of crazy. And Disney is already going, like, to bat for AI. They have created a task force to study how AI can be integrated into their company, so Disney is doubling down on AI, so that's crazy. We're going to kind of analyze what that could mean for both the company and the industry. But how are you guys? I hope you guys are liking the live streams. This has been great. Having a lot of fun talking to you guys. We already have a super chat. Did I miss a super chat? I did, from Walter Tomaszewski. Thank you so much, Walter. Will Apple buying Disney make it past regulators? Well, let's get into it now that you've brought it up. So let's get into this first bit of news, which is that some industry analysts are saying that Apple could acquire Disney in the next few years. And this is coming after a lot of rumors about that subject. So this isn't just coming out of nowhere. I've already talked about this on my channel, but now it seems like it's really picking up traction. So it seems like it might actually happen. Now, to answer your question, Walter, it does seem like Disney will have to slim down their business in order to be able to pass for regulation, because I think Disney right now is too large that I think even our government couldn't possibly agree to that. So in order for Disney to slim down enough so that they could be bought by Apple, they're saying that they could be selling off their linear TV stations like ABC, FX, a lot of other things that they've been kind of hinting at that they might spin off. So we're looking at Disney kind of going through a major transformation here over just the next couple of years, to the point where they're selling off their TV channels. So Disney is no longer in their TV channels. That means goodbye to the Disney Channel. They're pretty much only just focusing on what's on their Disney Plus, pretty much. Anything that's on traditional TV, goodbye to that. And Apple taking over Disney has a whole lot of ramifications, but before I even go to what that could mean, I do want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. What do you think about all this? Josh Loves Movie says the government should reject the Apple and Disney merger. They didn't do that with the Fox merger. I know, here's the thing. If Apple buys Disney, it's not just that Apple's buying Disney, but they're technically also buying Fox as well, because Disney just bought Fox. So Apple's now technically having bought like two major studios. How can the government agree to that? It's kind of crazy. Tegan and Hulperuni says Apple Plus is mostly great, sometimes takes itself too seriously, but always great quality-wise. Yeah, Apple TV Plus is known for great quality. That's very true. Disney Plus is not. So again, I don't know how that's gonna affect things. Maybe if Apple took over, maybe they'll make Disney make better TV shows. Who knows? Um, Kizaki says too much monopolization. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Honestly, I'm with you. I feel like these two companies would be too large. Although, as we're about to get into, I'm going to explain to you why I think this makes a lot of sense and why I understand why Bob Iger would sell Disney to Apple. Because Disney's not in a great place right now. As we've been talking about on my channel, a lot of their movies have been flopping. We had Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That was kind of the first canary in the coal mine, so to speak. But then since then, we've had a lot of other flops as well. We had the Little Mermaid, which was a disappointment. You had Indiana Jones, which was a massive flop. You had Elemental, which also disappointed. It had a mini comeback, but it's still gonna lose money, so it's kind of a flop. And the new Haunted Mansion movie is also not doing well. So they're not really doing very well at the box office. Pretty much the only movie that they've had that's actually done well is Guardians 3. So not a great track record so far. Then on top of that, all of their parks are empty. And as I told you guys, I used to work at the parks myself, and occasionally I'll just go on the apps and I'll look at the wait times. I can always tell that the wait times right now are really low for the parks. So yeah, not a lot of people are going, especially for peak season. This is like around the time of year where people should be going a lot, and they're just not. So I'm not surprised this is happening. But the fact that this article has just come to us from The Hollywood Reporter, which is one of the major trades, says that this is not just a rumor. This is something that could seriously happen. And I love this graphic that they've made here. I put it in my own thumbnail. This is Apple CEO Tim Cook giving like the Apple logo to Snow White. I just think that that's great. And they point out a lot of really great points in this article, like the fact that Apple and Disney have already had a long-standing relationship. Bob Iger even said that had Steve Jobs been alive longer, he thinks that Apple and Disney probably would have merged a long time ago. So this whole idea that Apple and Disney could merge together is not even a new thing. This is like something that was kind of floated out there a long time ago. So it's not totally out of nowhere. Editing Geek says Disney wouldn't be empty if it didn't cost like $3,000 per person. Yeah, it's gotten ridiculously expensive. Honestly, and I've been to Disney World a lot, and I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I could either spend that ridiculous amount of money on going back to the theme park, or I could like maybe go on a trip to Europe. And I think a lot of people are making that same decision. Josh Loves Movie says Snow White doesn't take that. Don't take that poison apple. I know. I know it is a fantastic thumbnail. I'm glad you guys are liking this image. Hollywood Reporter always has like the best images here. Some really great stuff. Anyway, Bob Iger is also the one that convinced Steve Jobs to sell Pixar to Disney. So the only reason that Pixar is under the Disney brand now is because of Bob Iger and his close relationship with Apple. So they have a lot there. They have a lot of past history there. So it makes sense that these two companies would want to work together. But again, it's just, they're going to be huge. And I think that we have to think about, okay, so look at how much power Apple would have if they actually did take over Disney, okay? Not only would they be in charge of manufacturing and developing your iPhone, and everyone needs a phone nowadays, but basically most of your entertainment, because Disney has some of the biggest IPs in the world. Also, your vacations, because Disney controls some of the biggest theme parks in the world, the biggest biggest vacation destinations in the world. So all that now would be controlled by Apple. I think that's just too much control for one place. Tegan and Hopperoni says, I'd much rather travel than go to a Disney theme park. The thing is, I love the theme parks. The theme parks are really fun when you know what you're doing and where to go and what rides are worth it and how to avoid the lines. And you only find that out by going a lot, like I did. So now when I go, if you guys ever want to enjoy going to the theme parks, go with me. You won't have to wait longer than like 30 minutes for anything. I've got that thing down to a science. But most people don't know that because most people don't have as much experience there as I do. Prince says very soon Disney princesses. Oh yeah, we'll get Disney princess editions for iPhones. They'll probably put Apple stores in all the theme parks. And I'm gonna get more and later and into the stream as to like what specifically the two could do together because it gets wild, guys. It gets wild. Disney has $1 trillion. Actually, that's not true. Apple has $1 trillion. In fact, I think Apple has $2 trillion. Disney is just a multi-billion-dollar brand. Mickey says, yeah, maybe I'm starting to think that they actually will have a lot of power. Exactly. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Eddie Geek says, went to Universal for the first time and I liked it a lot better than Disney. You know what? The last time I was living in Orlando, because I was working there, I started realizing that I was going to Universal a lot more than Disney World. And I realized it's because I think I was kind of enjoying the experience there, so I kind of understand. Universal's a really nice park. They've been doing a lot of improvements on it, so it's been nice. Kisaki says they need to bring those park tickets down if they want more people to go. Yeah, they need to make a lot of changes to those parks, including updating them. And we're about to get to what I mean by updating them. That's actually a perfect segue, so thank you. So you guys may or may not have heard of, and I've already talked about them. But Apple is coming out with this spatial computer headset thing. It's not really a VR headset like what Facebook's doing. It's more of like a AR mixed reality thing. And I've already talked about this because Bob Iger was actually there at the launch site when Apple launched their new headset. Bob Iger was actually there. So this is already showing that they're planning to work together on developing whatever this vision is for this headset. And what is the vision? Well, again, I've showed you a bit of this. Just going to show you again. Just more holographic, immersive experiences using the Apple IP plus the tech from the headset. They want to create this kind of like immersion where you turn your living room into Batu or something. So that's one thing that they want to do with it. Josh Loves Movie says Ready Player One predicted the future with Disney and Apple Oasis. That's a really great point, Josh. It's kind of like that. It's like, imagine if you've seen the movie Ready Player One, they kind of want to do something similar, but just with like Disney IP mostly. And moving further down the line, Apple also wants to launch these like Apple glasses, which are just like, they could be glasses that look like mine, but they do a lot of the mixed reality stuff that the bigger headset currently does. And the stuff, I found this really great video that actually shows like what they could be doing within the parks with these. So their entire vision is that they imagine, like, say 10 years from now, everyone would be walking around with like glasses that kind of look like these, or just like regular pair of glasses, but in the glasses you'll see like AR overlaid information on the world. And this is what they think, this is an idea of what they could do to the parks with this kind of technology. And I thought it was interesting to show you guys how, like, with these glasses, you can make the castles in the park look like really anything you can think of. You can make the castles look like cheese. You can make the castle look colorful. You could have holographic, fireworks. You could have your own intimate experience in the parks. This is the kind of bridge between technology and, storytelling, I guess, is kind of what they're going for. Very futuristic, very techy. I just thought this video was a very good idea of showing you. So, like, it could give you directions in the park on where to go. So it could show you so you never get lost and stuff like that. Just really, really sort of futuristic, Wall-E-esque kind of stuff. Stanley Z says no one likes the metaverse. I know. The only difference that I think here is that this isn't like VR where it's just like you're at home all day. They want to actually like have you guys wear this stuff out in public. Prince says, interesting, but who's buying this? Not me, but probably for Disney adults. Well, these glasses wouldn't just be for the parks. They'd be for everything. But yeah, I think that these headsets or whatever would be super, super expensive. I mean, the one that they have now is like, what, $5,000 or something crazy like that. I mean, yeah, they're crazy expensive. Aubrey says this is so sad. I know. I told you every day we're getting to a Wally universe. I'm telling you. The Free Rocket Man says soon we'll become like the humans from Wally. Yep. Mm-hmm. Uh, a poll. Okay, I'll do a poll. Let's do a poll. Would you guys even want something like this? Very curious. Alright. Would you want... I don't even know how to phrase this. Disney, Apple, Wally future. Yay or nay? I'm gonna say... I'm curious. And then I'm gonna say, heck no. And then I'm gonna add, sure. Alright, so, there you go. There's your poll. Josh Loves Movies says no because it would be super distracting. Yeah, honestly, I agree with you there. Oh, we have a new member from Troubled Champions. Thank you for becoming a new member. As always, we are going to get to the member section in just a moment, but you'll also get a shout out in my live streams. Plus, you can participate in our members only posts. So thank you for becoming a member. David E says ESPN is practically a betting company now. Yeah, I feel like they're changing everything about this company, like literally everything. Like they're going through a massive transformation right now. All right, so back to the poll. 65% of you are like, heck no. that's yeah, honestly, I'm thinking no. 29% is saying curious. Okay, they're like they're willing to test it out. They're willing to see how this goes. And only 5% of you are like, sure, let's go for it. I like that 5% of you are very adventurous. You're just like, yeah, let's go for the Wally future. But most of you are either just saying heck no, or you need to see more, which I think is fair. And honestly, you should be a lot more skeptical. Ending the poll now. CD Wood says, I love dystopia, but not in real life. It does kind of feel like we're living in a real life dystopian. Yeah. We've talked about this before. I guess we are already in a dystopia. Or we're very, very closely getting to one. ARLW says, only if I can go in the Aladdin universe. I don't know. Do you want to be in the Aladdin universe? I don't know. Let's stay in the real world. But moving on, I do want to get to the members only section, as I said. As always, if you want to become a member, you can either press the join button at the bottom of the screen, or you could press the link button that'll be in the description if you're on iOS and you don't see the join button. But let's get to the member question. I did ask you guys, what did you think of the potential Apple-Disney merger? So let's see what you guys said. That cover girl, thank you for being a member, says, I'm just hoping that it will take Disney in a better direction since they're not doing too good in terms of creativity and box office. Yeah, there's a very real potential, as someone mentioned earlier in the stream, that Apple actually really knows how to make a good TV show. Like, a lot of the stuff that's on Apple TV Plus is known for being of quality. So maybe if Apple took over Disney, they might make better shows. That's a very real possibility. So many, Cat Colfer 646 says, so many companies are getting really close to monopolies. That's true. I'm curious if it's getting close. Sorry. I'm curious if it's getting close to the point where a breakup needs to happen. Oh yeah, I already think Disney, as it is right now, needs to be broken up. And that's before Apple takes over. Rachel Reed's Romance says, I don't know what to think about this, to be honest. On one hand, it is scary for one company to have this much power. On the other hand, Bob Iger and the rest of the people running Disney are running it into the ground. Yes, they are. And being paid insane salaries to do so. I know. And I have to hope if there is an ownership change that will be replaced. Again, I think it's kind of funny that there's another person here who's like, well, maybe Apple will do a better job of running the company. Like, you're like, at this point, you can't do worse. So I think that's kind of funny. Oh, John Burns. Thank you so much for the super chat, John Burns. I wish you could run Hollywood, Brittany. You'd fix real problems. Oh, thank you, Josh. Or John. Thank you. That's very, very sweet of you. You know, at one point in my life, I thought I did want to work in Hollywood, like, directly, but then I decided to do this instead. But thank you for the super chat. Joshua Munn says, told you guys that AI was just going to be accelerated. It is kind of crazy at how fast how much the progress is going. And we're getting to the AI conversation in a minute. But going back to the member statements, Kisaki3953, hi Kisaki, I saw you in the chat earlier. I honestly don't want a big tech company to acquire Disney. Apple already nickel and dime their customers, yep. Just imagine how much worse it'll be at the parks. However, it would be fine with them acquiring movie production rights. There's another person who's like, you know what, they can take the movies, because maybe they can do a better job, but don't touch the parks. I love that. That's where you draw the line, Kisaki. That's very funny. But no, you're right, though. You're very right. Can you imagine, like, the amount of microtransactions that Apple can add to the parks? Oh, no, that can make things so much worse. Oh, thank you, Roberto. I'm glad that you like my channel. Nicholas Wilson says, at the very least, they'll struggle to get this past the CMA in the UK and perhaps the FTC in the US, as it would create an anti-competitive monopoly. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Honestly, I would be with you, but I've seen so many major like companies coming together recently, like Fox and Disney, like Warner Brothers and Discovery and AT&T. Like, I've seen so many mergers recently where I'm just like, how is the government allowing this to happen? Like, why? I don't know. My faith in the government is in an all-time low. This isn't a political show. I'm just telling you why I don't think that the merging thing is going to be a big deal with the government, because they'll just allow whatever, I guess. I don't know. John Mewa6256 says, if Apple can get Kathleen Kennedy to wear a shirt that says the Force is male and female, or the Force is female and male, I'm all for it. I don't think Apple could get Kathleen Kennedy to do that, and I don't think Kathleen Kennedy will still be working at the company by the time Apple owns it. There's no way that woman is still gonna work there. She can't, especially after Indiana Jones flopped. Like, how? She can't. Mickey404 says, Apple has a lot of money. They might make Disney magical again. I honestly kind of hope they do, but then because I think they might make Disney better. So Mickey, you're another person that's like, honestly, I think Apple could do a better job, which is kind of a damning assessment of how Disney's doing right now. Maiden of Husbands, again, thank you for being a member, says, this should be illegal at this point. I agree. No one should have this amount of money and power when the people working for Disney don't even have health insurance and living wages. What is Apple even going to do with Disney? Does Apple know how to produce movies and animated movies? What role does Apple have here? Just taking the money Disney movies make? What involvement is there? Are they just going to sponsor their own Apple products in all Disney films or no? Oh, that would be awful. Could you imagine, like, the next Disney princess movie and, like, she just has an iPhone? Like, they make it a contemporary princess who needs a bunch of Apple products for whatever reason. Oh, that would be terrible. I don't think they would do that, to be fair. But yeah, the opportunity for product placement will be it'll be there, and it'll be very annoying. You're very much right. Thank you so much, Matthew Valente, for the super chat. Very much appreciate it. AI won't save them. All AI will do is lead to the robot apocalypse. Oh no, not the robot apocalypse. But you're right, you might be right. I've been like trying to slowly come to the realization that there is at least a non-zero chance that the world will end in robot destruction. So yeah, that's great. But you're absolutely right, Matthew. I know, so grim, so cheerful. Oh, Baby Banana, you want a Princess iPhone? I don't. LP Harris says, Napoleon is an Apple Plus movie, and honestly, it looks pretty good. Napoleon looks great. I actually think I'm going to see that in theaters. The Free Rocket Man says, they'd be more subtle, but they'd do it. Yeah, they're definitely going to put product placement in there. I just hope that it is subtle. It's not like Haunted Mansion where it's just so in your face with the product placement. But moving on to the AI discussion. Again, thank you for the nice segue. Moving on to the next topic, which is that Disney is so desperate right now that they're actually seriously considering, and not just considering, that they're planning to use AI in every means necessary. That Disney is creating a task force to study how AI can be integrated to cut costs. And I did read the article, and it sounds like Bob Iger really he thinks AI could be a way to cut costs, to save from all these like $300 million movies like Indiana Jones. And he's not wrong. I mean, AI can obviously save you a lot of money. I just hope that they don't do that and cause a lot of people to lose their jobs in the process. But I think that's what's going to happen. I know it is Skynet, Jules. It is Skynet. I know, Yellow Umbrella. I know, I'm sorry. I know I'm being a bit of a downer, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You guys watch me for the truth, right? Joshua Munn says, according to the Hollywood Reporter, these mergers are allowed to happen because all of these other companies rising, so the legacy companies can all merge. Universal WB and Paramount together. What? Universal WB and Paramount together can merge? That would be like a super, super mega monopoly. So we're all just basically getting to the point where we just have one major company, maybe, I don't know, we'll call it By and Large, and they just are in charge of everything? Is that where we're going with this? Again, we're going towards the Wall-E future. Oh, I know, right? Just make a low-budget movie, says the best comic king. You think the sane idea behind how do we fix the industry would be, let's go back to making a bunch of mid to low budget movies and make moderately priced things again. But no, it's how do we keep making stuff that looks and is hella expensive without having to like go through with it and save money. And it's like, oh, let's just use AI. Not just makes cheaper stuff, let's just make AI do it. So let's get into it. Now, I did talk about this in a previous live stream, but you guys may have seen the simulation. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's a research paper that was just published where they used the South Park show as a template, and they created this AI generation machine where all you had to do was type in the prompt or the plot summary of the episode of South Park that you wanted. You choose the characters that you want in your story, and you choose the set that you want, and then the whole thing just generates that episode for you that's customized based off of your prompt. So this is the kind of stuff that Apple and Disney are researching right now and trying to develop. This is why I think they're developing this AI task force thing, is because they're probably trying to get them to create more stuff like that. They probably saw that South Park thing and is like, well, if they can generate an entire customized South Park episode, why can't we generate an entire customized, is it talking? Yes. No. Why can't we generate an entire, I don't know, Mickey Mouse episode? And eventually, once we get past animation, maybe they'll generate parts of Marvel Disney Plus shows. They'll totally at least try. I don't know if it'll work out for them, but they're definitely going to try. The best comic king says Matt and Trey would have a field day with that. Oh, I'm sure they're going to address it eventually. They have to. CD Wood says, I hate the whole thing. I know. Maiden says they don't even pay their employees. What costs are they cutting? Exactly. Well, here's the thing. If all you need to do is just type in a prompt and you get an entire TV show out of it, like this, what they just did here, that means you no longer have to pay writers. You no longer have to pay directors, production designers, set designers, costumers, makeup artists, hairstylists. You don't even need a camera. You don't need people. So that is huge cost savings, but again, at a huge cost to humans. So that's kind of the huge issue here and why a lot of people are striking. ARLW says, how far can AI go? Can it make a whole movie? Well, according to Joe Russo, he thinks AI will be able to make a whole movie in like 2 years. So we'll see. Mikey says, "Oh great, Marvel will be horrible." I mean, they already used AI to create their intro for Secret Invasion, so I don't think it's that far off to think that they'll use it for the actual show within like a year or two. I think that's definitely happening. Um, Cheaper Cheetah Viper says, "I want Leica to make a new movie." I do too. They're taking their long, sweet time to make something new. Um, Maiden says, "Imagine wanting to cut costs when all they do is put a god ton of money on one movie that looks uglier than mush dirt, like the latest Ant-Man movie." Oh, Maiden! Shots fired! But you're right. You're absolutely right, because that Quantumania movie looked terrible. Absolutely terrible. Josh Loves Movies says, "Secret Invasion is the biggest disaster for Marvel." I think I've been wondering what could be like the straw to finally break the camel's back. I was wondering, okay, was it Thor: Love and Thunder? Was it She-Hulk? Was it Quantumania? But I think it might be Secret Invasion. I know this is a side discussion, but it's really bad for them right now. But again, showing you about why they want to use this tech as much as possible. Here again is the Star Wars by Wes Anderson trailer. So again, all of this is made by AI. So imagine they probably won't make, Disney meaning, probably won't make an entire movie just on AI, but what they could do is say they film one scene and they filmed it one way with real actors, real people, real everything, and they realize that they wish that they had filmed it another way with different dialogue, with different things happening. Instead of just reshooting that scene like they would do now, they could just use AI within like a couple years to just change a couple of things that they wanted to change, and they don't have to reshoot anything. That's the kind of stuff I think is realistically going to happen within like the next 2 to 3 years. Jules Elizabeth says, "This is why computer/AI got banned and outlawed in the Dune world." You know what's funny, Jules? I've been thinking about that myself. How Jules just brought up the fact that in the Dune universe, AI and all robots or whatever is banned. That's why you don't see AI at all, like in the movie, even though it takes place far in the future. And I've sometimes wondered that myself. I'm like, well, should we ban this? Like, we all just assume that AI is inevitable, but what if we just like ban it and just like never touch it again? We could do it. It's possible. Thank you, Prince. Again, if you are watching and you are not subscribed, again, I see like at least 30% of the people who watch these live streams are not subscribed. So please make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of these live streams. I do them every day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the channel. And I would really love it if you would also like the video. It'd really help the channel. Again, thank you, Prince, for always reminding me. Yellow Umbrella says, "Brittany, you're the only reason I know about this news." I'm glad that you guys come here for the nichest of entertainment news, but here you go. But the thing is, not Apple, Disney has already been like dealing with AI and robotics for a long time, so it's not even like this is something new for them. I want to show you guys this Groot, this robot Groot that Disney's Imagineering team has been building. It's pretty incredible. Like, look at how realistic and lifelike that looks. Like, how cool is that? I actually think this is neat. This doesn't scare me like the other AI stuff. I'm like, this is the kind of stuff I want to see more of in the parks. Less of the other creepy stuff we're about to talk about. So they've been dealing with the trying to get robotics. They've been trying to get robotics and AI into the parks for a long time now. So this isn't anything super, super new. Jojo Rod says, "Someone said the spice must flow." Yeah. Something Clever says, "They may ban AI if CEOs and other leadership positions could be eliminated." Hey, let's make sure the AI can take the CEO's jobs, and maybe that's all we have to do. Brent says, "Burn it." No, not burn it. It's cute. Wait, some of you guys think this is creepy? I think it's cute. Armia says, "My mom is obsessed with Baby Groot. She would sell our house to get that." Oh my god. Josh Loves Movie says Disney animatronics are incredible until they turn evil and Groot gets revenge. No! This sweet Groot wouldn't get revenge. No. Matthew Valente, thank you so much for the super chat, Matthew. It still looks pretty plastic to me. Yes, it looks plastic, but the thing is, it's more accurate to height, so it's more accurate to how Baby Groot would actually be. Because right now, if you wanted to meet Baby Groot in the parks, they'd either have to, like, you'd either meet, like, this weird animatronic thing, or you would meet, like, a life-size, human-sized Baby Groot, because it's a person inside of a suit. This, I think, is a good way of, like, making it as realistic as you could. I don't know. I think this is kind of cool. This is the kind of good AI use I think Disney should be focusing on, not the other stuff. Disney turning into the High Evolutionary. Oh, Yellow Umbrella. You guys are savage. Very savage. Something else I thought was kind of cool. I've actually seen this in person in the parks. They have these robot acrobatics. They do stunts in the parks. It's actually for the Spider-Man attraction in the Marvel Universe attraction thing in Disneyland. I've actually seen it in person because I've been there. It's pretty cool. But they have all these robots doing stunts instead of humans because obviously that's dangerous. But I could see them trying to use this kind of stuff for actual movies as well. Like imagine for a Marvel movie, you have these weird robots doing all the stunts and not humans. I mean, on one hand, yeah, it's safer for the humans, but I do think it takes something away from the sport of it all. What do you guys think about this? Jules Elizabeth says, he who controls the spice controls the universe. Why are you guys talking about the spice so much? Editing Geek says, it eliminates the job of stunt performers. Yeah, it does. I think that's why Tom Cruise, he was one of the people apparently in the SAG negotiations with the studios, and of course one of his main concerns was that he didn't want AI to replace stunt performers, and stuff like this I think he's trying to prevent from happening. What? Prince? That's wild. It is kind of creepy, hidden name. CD Wood says, I think this use would be okay, but it should be optional. I think so too. I think if it's for a stunt that's like so dangerous that like it would be dumb to use a human if you didn't have to, I think this would be appropriate. But I think we should still try to use humans as much as we can before we go, oh yeah, let's use the robot. That's kind of how I feel about it. Joel Pedro says, I'm okay with using the robots for dangerous scenes. Okay, Joel's okay with that, so that's fine. Arvin says, if you can make robots do sports, when do something, then robots do sports, I become healthier. What does that mean? I don't know what you mean, I'm sorry. But moving on. Now, going back to the whole Apple and Disney could be merging thing, I did see that there are rumors that Apple is trying to make their own AI chatbot like ChatGPT. So Apple, of course, is trying to make their own AI god, essentially. Because, of course, why wouldn't they? And I was thinking about if Apple and Disney did merge, what would they do with that in the parks? Because that's definitely something that they would use in the parks. And then I remembered, in their failed Galactic Star Cruiser thing, they've already started testing this out. If you guys don't know, Disney has this experience called the Galactic Star Cruiser. It's in Florida. For a very, very obscenely expensive price, you could spend like 3 days in a windowless bunker that's themed after Star Wars, and it's supposed to be fun. But it's not really that fun, and it's kind of been a failure and no one's going. But one of the things that they have put in it is this sort of AI bot that the people can chat with, and you can actually use, like, you can just speak with it like we speak now, and it's apparently can actually chat back with you. I just thought I'd play a little bit of it. So you can have a conversation with this bot like you'd have a conversation with anyone. So they're already putting this sort of AI chatbot stuff in their parks. And I think if Apple and And if Apple and Disney did merge, I can totally see them like, honestly, here's what I imagine. Now, we're about to get into the super, super crazy. I know we've already talked about some crazy stuff, but here's my just imaginings on where this could go and where I think this is all leading to. So recently, earlier this year, some very, very creepy news. Disney had a hologram of Walt Disney. Did you guys see this? They created a hologram of this guy, and it looked very, very real. So they're already trying to experiment with all this holographic technology I'm talking about. I could see a future where Disney has these holographic projectors of people like Walt Disney, or even their characters like Mickey Mouse or Cinderella or something, and they have it talk using these like AI chatbots or whatever. And so it's like you're actually talking to these characters for real, and they can respond like to whatever your question that you're saying. I think that's where they're going with this. And yes, they would go that far, for sure. Matthew Valente, thank you again for the super chat. So kind. I believe that after all, the Star Wars hotel was shut down less than a year ago, and that was really expensive. Yeah, I know, the Star Wars hotel was a massive disaster, although I thought it was going to be from the get-go. I mean, I think the appeal for that was very, very limited. Hologram Britney. Oh, I don't know about that. Josh Loves Movie says, Iron Man 2 predicted the future with holograms. Exactly. I feel like we're getting to a future where all of that is becoming real. Very, very creepy. I know, it is creepy. Nicholas, stop. Joshua Munn says, they already tried that with the theme park costumes. Yeah, okay. So I actually have a bit of inside knowledge about this because I worked at the park. Alright. I was a character attendant at Disney World. So my job was to be basically, I was like Mickey's bouncer. That's how I always describe it. It was my job to like stand there by the characters and make sure, help them take pictures, do their autographs, stuff like that. There's a Mickey in Magic Kingdom that can talk to you. It has an articulated mouth. And how they do that is super, super technical and super, super complicated. They have a guy who's in some room somewhere who's listening in through the Mickey head to all the conversations that's happening in the room. And then they're responding in real time, like through improv, through their little mic in their room, whatever. And then it comes out of Mickey's mouth. No, not improv. It's like they choose through a huge variety of responses that they have ready for Mickey. But they have to be ready and choose those responses like within seconds so that the conversation feels natural. And there's somebody in just some room that's going through all those responses and like making sure that they choose the right ones for the kids. And it's very, very creepy, but it also shows you, I only bring that up to just show you of like the technical links that Disney already goes through for their meet and greets. So they definitely would do something this crazy because they already do crazy stuff in their parks right now. They're trying to make them like as technically like possible or whatever. They're trying to make them as real as possible is what I'm saying. Prince says like characters in Nintendo World. Even more so. Jojo Rod says the idea of Britney with shades of black jacket standing in front is sending me. No, but it's actually true. You have to make sure like the kids aren't getting too rambunctious. They're not like beating up the characters because sometimes they get so excited they like punch Mickey and it's like that's not okay. So it is kind of like what the job is. Although I mainly worked with the princesses. I actually mainly worked with Anna and Elsa, funnily enough. And that was during like peak Frozen. So like people were crazy. Anyway, Joshua Munn says, oh yeah, Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, Fred Astaire are all commercials now. James Dean is going to be in a new movie. We have a website and conventions where you can buy likenesses. Huh? Huh, Joshua? Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, and Fred Astaire are all in commercials right now. Oh, well, it's already starting then. I guess all celebrities are essentially immortal, because people could just bring you back whenever, I guess. Punch Mickey. Yeah, I've seen so many, like, excited ADHD kindergartners do all sorts of things to Mickey. Mickey has seen it all, let me tell you. Um, Mickey, speaking of Mickey, says, I live in California and they have animatronics in a shed at Knott's Berry Farm, and he's in a room and he talks into a mic. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. Prince says, you worked with Frozen characters, yet you hated the second movie. Yes, so you know I hated the second movie with love, because I loved the first movie, and I worked with the characters a lot. Um, but yeah. Anyway, that's actually the last bit of the story that I had for you today. I told you there's not a lot of news, but we could just sit and chat about that news for however long we really wanted to. So I thought that was interesting. I think Disney is in a huge transformation period where they're seeing that everything's kind of going wrong for them, and they're kind of having to make huge changes to just get with the times. You have cord cutting accelerating, so less and less people are watching linear TV, which is why they're spinning it off in the first place. You got all these movies flopping, you got no one going to their parks. So now it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Let's turn to AI. AI will solve all our problems. Oh, Apple might buy us. That will also save us. So Apple's just kind of, not Apple, but Disney is in a very, very weird place, and I don't know what they're gonna do, honestly. We have another super chat from Nicholas Wilson. Again, thank you so much. Why do I keep hitting this? I wouldn't argue with Bouncer Brittany. I was very good at my job, I will say. I made sure those kids were very respectful. Although there was this one situation that got out of hand, but that's a whole different stream. I have stories. Now, I do want to give you guys an hour live stream, so for the next 13 minutes, you guys can ask me anything. It doesn't have to be just about Disney or the AI or whatever. It can be about whatever you want. Yeah, we're just going to have a nice Q&A session. Josh Loves Movies says, thoughts on Paramount starting filming on Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in September without actors. I almost added that to the stream today. I almost talked about the Sonic thing, but I think we'll talk about it tomorrow. I just wanted to focus on this Disney stuff today, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. But yes, thank you for bringing that up. Jules Elizabeth says, man, when I was a kid, you used to watch the Jetsons. I thought the future would be cool. Right? Like, when we were a kid, we thought, like, the future would be so, like, cool and futuristic, and now it's just horrifying. You know? It's kind of sad. Yellow Umbrella says, Brittany, can you make a story time stream? I don't know about a whole stream just for that. What story do you want? Maiden says, it's crazy growing up to witness Disney's downfall so suddenly, but predicted. You know, I was kind of wondering about this. Like, even just 10 years ago, when Disney seemed like it was actually doing very well, I was starting to wonder if that was gonna last, because I noticed that they were just basically relying on the same IP over and over again. And I was wondering if they were actually making new fans with younger audiences, like young kids. And it seems like they aren't. It seems like the main people who still care about Disney movies are millennials or Gen Xers who liked Disney when they were kids. Like younger kids, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, like they don't care about Disney. And I kind of saw that coming. Colina says, they do a Whitney Houston tribute show in Vegas that is a hologram. Yeah, I feel like the hologram stuff is popping up more and more. Probably will continue to do so. Very weird. I already reviewed Haunted Mansion, Speedy, aka Leah. It's in one of my live streams, so if you just go back and check my live streams, you'll find my review. Matthew Valente, thank you again. You've been so generous on this stream. Thank you so much for the super chat. Will the story be AI? I don't have any, like, AI-related story time stuff. We could have story time about my time in the parks. I don't know. A lot of weird stories about that. But, yeah, I don't have anything about AI personally. But thank you for the super chat again. Simi Charm says Disney has millennials for life. I think they probably do. I think the whole generation that just, like, really grew up with the Disney Renaissance movies, I think they're forever gonna be Disney customers. It's okay, Glitchmation. We're actually winding down now. Um, Proto G26 says, as a Gen Z, I can confirm I do not care about Disney stuff. Yeah, I mean it's in all of the surveys, and I've seen articles about it where it's like, yeah, younger people just do not care. It's like millennials mainly the main ones driving Disney right now. Birdie Eraser says, now I'm curious about the horrible things that Bouncer Brittany has seen. Honestly, it's more like the people. The people just can be crazy, especially at theme parks. Mari Connors, thank you again thank you for the super chat so much. Really appreciate it. Oh, Young Hollywood says Mickey Mouse is dated these days. Do you think the concept of Mickey Mouse is dated or the character is dated? That's interesting. That's very interesting. I want to know why you say that. Mm. Young Hollywood, you think Disney needs a new mascot? What? No. Mickey is so iconic. They can't replace him. Why would they need a new mascot? Maiden says, what kind of live action movie of any genre would you want to see turned animated, since everything is turning into live action? Ooh, that's a nice question. What kind of live action movie, if any genre, would I want to see turn animated? Oh, I don't know. I kind of feel like most things could probably be better if it was done well animated. There's a certain animation style that is really, really popular on Netflix that I just don't vibe with. And I've heard people refer to it as like the Tumblr style animation. I don't mean animation like that. I mean like arcane style animation or like even anime or Avatar Last Airbender, like that kind of like really good, intense, thoughtful animation. I don't know. Dune probably would have been cool animated. Shavivi says millennials need to let go of all the Disney nostalgia and embrace new IP. Yeah, I think it's getting to that point. I mean, nostalgia can only milk so far. It can only go so far. Am I excited for the new Stranger Things cartoon? Says Yellow Umbrella. I don't know. I like the main show. I don't know if I really need to watch a bunch of spin-offs, you know? Green Leopard says, oh, Green Leopard says, replace Mickey with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Well, he was supposed to be the original mascot. Maybe they just go full circle. That'd be funny. Yeah, Arcane was great. That's what I'm saying, Nature Rose, that they should make it more like Arcane. Baby Banana wants a Korean princess. I would like that. We should have Koreans. We should have princesses of all backgrounds. Yes, story-driven animation. Yes. Joshua Munn says, I think James Gunn honestly wants Disney to merge with Warner Brothers. What? So that he can do his Marvel DC crossover stuff. They can do a proper Roger Rabbit 2, etc. Gunn is pushing that for that and not Universal. You want a Disney Warner Brothers merger? No. I'm sorry. I do not want that at all. Okay, a lot of those brands under Warner Brothers just do not fit with Disney. Like, do you really want Disney to make a Batman movie? Do you want a Disney Batman movie? You know, those brands just don't fit with Disney. I don't think that should happen. Lumi Romero says we should have princesses for each country. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Disney's working their way through it, honestly. Yellow Umbrella says, do you think the Giselle from Enchanted should be an official Disney princess? Because I do. I think they wanted to make her an official Disney princess, but I read somewhere that Amy Adams didn't want to sell her voice away to Disney, like her voice rights to Disney, which now, as we're talking about the AI conversation, she might have been right to do. So they decided not to make Giselle one of the main princesses, but I think they wanted to at first. Again, thank you, Prince. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. Again, I do these live streams every day at 1 p.m. And I'll be back again tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'll take like 2 or 3 more questions and then that'll be the end of the live stream. Rain E says Roger Rabbit 2 would be great, but they need to knock it off with the cinematic universe crossing. Yeah, I do not want to see cinematic universes crossing together. I really do not want to see that. Um, Again, I think we need to establish limits and boundaries and laws and rules, and the more you combine all these universes together, the less any of that means. And I think it'll be bad for everyone involved. Maiden says Ursula is the true Disney mascot. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're a villain now. Oh, sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. We didn't have much strike news today. We'll probably have strike news tomorrow. Alright, I'll take one more question and that'll be the end of the live stream. Mickey says, do you think they will make an Encanto 2? I want to see one. Yeah, probably. I think they'll make an Encanto 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12. They'll just keep making sequels for everything until they run out of things to make sequels for. So that'll be it. That'll be the end of the live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That was really fun, and I'll see you then. Bye.